My bank tried to rob me of my hard-earned money. Back in the early 2000s, I was collecting all my change in one of those big plastic water jugs for water dispensers. I had it about 60% full and needed to cash them in to make ends meet, so I lugged this thing into my local bank. Now, I learned the hard way prior to this that the bank would not accept pre-rolled coins. They told me there was no way to verify that the rolls contained actual coins, and that they would have to rip every one of them open to verify. After the explanation, it made sense. But it was kind of frustrating since I spent the money and time to roll all these coins up thinking I was helping them out. So this time I kept them all loose in the jug. I also know they have one of those coin counting machines because I seen them use it the last time, and it made light work of all the coins they had unwrapped from the rolls. But it'd been a few years since I last did this. So here I was waiting in line for the next available teller with my jug of loose change, probably weighing 40 to 50 pounds worth. When my time came, I waddled the jug up to the base of the teller desk and told them I wanted to cash it in. This is when they told me that they charge something like a 10% fee to count the change. I turned my head to the right where there was a small room, and sure enough, that same coin counting machine was sitting in there. I said, "You aren't counting it, you're just pouring it into that machine and it'll count it for you." They simply replied, "It's just our policy, sir." I then said, "You're my bank. Isn't that a service you're supposed to provide to me?" And they said, "We charge the same rate for everyone." So I asked how much change they would take without charging me the fee, and they said, $50. So I knelt down, tipped the jug over, and poured as much of it into my hand as possible and put a couple handfuls worth onto the counter. Looking perturbed, she counted it all by hand and gave me maybe $22 and some change. I put it into my wallet, grabbed my jug, and dragged it to the back of the line behind two other customers. When it was my turn again, I waddled up there, knelt down and placed a couple handfuls of coins on the high counter. When I stood back up, you could tell she was pretty perturbed about what I was doing and eventually just gave in. She told me to bring the jug over to the swinging door at the end of the desk, and with the help of another teller, they started pouring it into the coin machine. I made the point to tell them that I knew almost to the cent how much was in there, so don't try to pull any fast ones on me. About 10 minutes later, it had chewed through all the coins and the total came to within a few bucks of my own count. Might have had a handful of Canadian coins in there, or some likely miscount due to worn coins. I remember it ended up being over $1,000 in pocket change, but I can't recall the actual total. But that was the last time I saved coins. Nowadays, I hear most banks won't do this at all and will just refer you to those coin counting machines you see at hardware stores or Walmart that rob you of a large percentage of the total. Summary. My bank wanted to charge me 10% to cash in my large jug of loose change, so I attempted to cash it all in one handful at a time to avoid the charge until they finally gave in and counted it all for free.